What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name's CJ, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at 5 player props over on PrizePicks for tonight's NBA Finals game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. So I picked out the 5 props that stand out to me, ones that haven't been rounded up or rounded down by the lines makers at PrizePicks, and the ones that are receiving the most action out on various sports books across the industry. So we're going to look at all 5 of those, try to determine if we should go with the public and take what we see on those various sports books, or if we should fade the public and possibly go the other way, over or under. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Let's go for 30 likes. We'll keep it light tonight. See if we can get over 30 likes on today's video. Now, if you don't play on PrizePicks, it's a fantastic time to sign up. Why is that? Well, we've got CSGO going, we've got MLB going, we've got NBA still going, and they're doing a 100% instant deposit match. So if you put in 20 bucks, they're going to double your money for free, giving you $40 instantly. If you want to put up to $100, that's the max. They're going to match that, giving you $100 additional dollars, meaning you'll have 200 bucks to take you through the rest of the NBA Finals, or if you're into playing CSGO, or if you're into playing MLB, or if you're into playing soccer, PGA, you name it, PrizePicks has a little bit of everything. Plus, they're doing a pretty fantastic promo right now where you could win a trip to go to Atlanta, Georgia for Atlanta Braves game and an entire PrizePicks VIP weekend, all expenses paid. So definitely consider signing up for PrizePicks if you've never played before. Use promo code Curry, or the link down in the description of the video. Now, also down in the description of the video are ways for you to get even more content from me. You can join the Patreon group. We've got people winning money left and right for MLB All-Star, CSGO, League of Legends, you name it. We're playing a little bit of everything. Plus, I'll leave a link down in the description for you to join the totally free Discord community where you could go post picks, talk about picks, and so on and so forth. Everything PrizePicks related. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get into today's NBA game. We've got the Phoenix Suns at the Milwaukee Bucks. This game tips off at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now we've got a total of 221 points, so pretty healthy total, with Milwaukee as 4.5-point favorites at home. Of course, Milwaukee took the first game that they played in Milwaukee, blew out the Suns by 20 points. Will tonight be another blowout? I don't know. So far, the home teams have been dominating and winning these series. So we'll have to check and see what's going on with tonight's game. But without further ado, I've got 3 points props that I want to talk about, and 2 3-point props. So a total of 5 props that are receiving the most action, like I talked about before. So the first one I want to mention is Michael Bridges, who's at 11.5 points tonight. Now, I've got him projected to go over 11.5 points, projected for 12.2 points. But let's take a look at Number Fire real quick and see where they have Michael Bridges. So they got Michael Bridges projected at 12. Like I said, I've got him at 12.2, a little bit higher than Number Fire does. Plus, I'm seeing some very strong action up as high as minus 150 over 11.5 points. So when you see odds that strong, it's hard to ignore. So let's take a look at Michael Bridges. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive here. You can see for the season, he averaged 13.5 points per game. Obviously, that's a lot higher than 11.5. So that's a good sign in terms of the lean toward the over, right? So let's go take a look at his last 5 games here and see how well he scored. It's been, a little inconsistent, a little bit volatile, up and down. We got 5 points, 9 points. Those are obvious unders. Comes back 14 points, 27 points, but then he just falls off a cliff. He only played 27 minutes in a blowout and ended up with just 4 points. So in his last 5 games, he's got 2 overs compared to 3 unders when considering this 11.5 point prop. So with that out of the way, let's go take a look and see at how well he's been doing throughout the 19 playoff games he's appeared in. Now, in 19 playoff games, he is averaging 11.4 points per game, putting him slightly under tonight's projection of 11.5 over on PrizePicks. So not looking very good in his last 5 game logs and his playoff averages so far. Finally, we're going to wrap things up by taking a look at how well he's done against this Milwaukee Bucks team throughout this series so far. You see he's played in 3 games, over 31.5 minutes per game, and he's averaging 15 points per game. So that would put him over 11.5. So just wanted to shine a little bit more light on this prop. I see why it's receiving so much action, we'll say, on the over. And I do think this is a situation where Michael Bridges could potentially bounce back. So I don't mind taking the over here. I don't think he's going to have just 4 points again. And I don't think Phoenix is going to get blown out like they did. He can't play really any worse, Michael Bridges, than he did in the last game. So when guys are coming off a bad game, that's the type of situation where I look at like a little discount on the points prop for this one and look to possibly take the over. So there you have it on Michael Bridges. The next one I want to talk about is his teammate Cameron Johnson, who's at 9.5 points. Now, instead of going over on Cam Johnson at 9.5, this is one where the public seems to be taking the under. Now, I've got him projected at 8.8 points, which puts him obviously under 9.5. We need him to score just 9 or less if we are leaning toward the under. So let's head back over to Number Fire. We'll scroll down and find Cam Johnson. Now, they got him projected at 8.7. I told you I've got him projected at 8.8. So 8.7, 8.8. Either way, still, it's less than 9.5 points. So let's move forward here to NBA.com. You can see for the regular season, he scored 9.6 points, putting him slightly above 9.5. But, you know, his role has changed a little bit for this Phoenix Suns team throughout the playoffs. Obviously, rotations tighten up. Guys don't get as many minutes. But with Dario Saric going down a couple games ago, Cameron Johnson has stepped into a bigger role here with Phoenix in the last couple of games. Let's go look at his last 5 games, and you can see that his minutes were up back here on July 11th. He played 30 minutes, but if we go back to the 5th game in his game log, 17 minutes played, he ends up with just 5 points. Now, 23 minutes ended up with 14 points, 10 points, 8 points, and 14. So in his last 3 games, he's got 3 games where, or in last 5 games rather, he's got 3 games where he's covered this point prop of 9.5, going for 14, 10, and 14. Now, his minutes are definitely up, as I mentioned before, playing 30 minutes, easily his most highest minute total in his last 5 games, we should say. So there's a definite chance here that he could go for 10 or more points if he plays 30 plus minutes again, but maybe the blowout was a little bit of a factor. Why Cam Johnson and some of the other guys off the bench got so much run could have been because of the blowout. So maybe those minutes dropped down a little bit, and in turn, maybe those points dropped down a little bit as well. So I could see the underplay definitely here as a potential way to go. Now, if we go and look at his playoff averages so far, he's appeared in 18 playoff games, playing almost 21 minutes per game, averaging exactly 8.5 points per game throughout those 18 playoff appearances, which puts him under 9.5. So with that, we're going to go look at how well he's done in this series so far against the Milwaukee Bucks. He's appeared in 3 games, playing 23 minutes. That's good for a 10.7 point per game average, putting him over this 9.5 point prop. So if this game does end up being close and competitive, then I would expect Cam Johnson to not receive as many minutes as he did in the last game, being 30 minutes. I would expect that to come down to about 20 to 25. And in that case, it would be a little more difficult for him to go over this 9.5 point prop. So this is a tough one for me. I don't think that this one looks super good either way, over or under, so it might just be a fade, but I just wanted to lay out the facts, give you guys a little more insight to why this prop is receiving so much action at minus 143 to go under 9.5 points. All right, so with that one out of the way, next one we're going to talk about is PJ Tucker. Now, I got PJ Tucker at 5.5 points over on PrizePicks. Went out, calculated some of these projections across various sites, ended up with an average of about 5 points is where he's projected to score today. So at 5 points, that would lead you to believe that the under is the way to go, and that is how the public is handling this 5.5 point prop as well. They've got him as a minus 140 to go under 5.5 points. So let's take a look at Number Fire first and foremost here and take a look at PJ Tucker in his projection. He's at 4.6 points versus my projection of 5 points. So got him between 4.6 and 5. That's still less than 5.5 points. I know it's dangerous, and I know it's always tempting to take the under here on PJ Tucker and his points because he's not a scorer. I mean, he's probably not even in their top 5 scoring options, but the guy does get free for cuts to the basket, lays, easy layups. He gets open for those little corner 3-pointers. So all it takes is 1 or 2 buckets and this guy's going to go over. So this is a risky prop. So let's dig in a little bit further here. You can see for the regular season, 3.7 points per game. That puts him well under 5.5 points, no doubt about it. Now let's go back and look at his last 5 games. So if we do that, you see he's got 5 points, that puts him under, 5 points, that puts him under, but now he's got 3 games in a row where he has went over 5.5 points with 7, 7, 7. Now, if you're playing the slot machines, 7, 7, 7 is a good sign. That means you just won a ton of money. But with PJ Tucker, you know, maybe this is like playing the slot machine. Maybe this is a gamble, taking the over or the under on his points prop tonight. So we're going to move forward here. Let's look at his playoff averages. He's appeared in 20 playoff games, playing just under 30 minutes per game, and his average points per game is 4.8, putting him under 5 points per game. So yeah, he's riding a streak of 7 points, 3 in a row with 7, 7, and 7. But, you know, if you look at the bigger picture, the larger sample size, which is 20 games here throughout the playoffs, he's not even hitting 5 points per game. So the under is definitely something to consider, I would say. So let's go look at this series so far and look at his points per game average. You can see that he's played in 3 games so far against this Phoenix Suns team. And again, he's averaging exactly 7 points per game, which means he would be a favorite to go over 5.5 points. So you put it all together, you look at his streak. Does he continue it tonight? You know, can he go for 7 points again? I told you it only takes 2, maybe 3 buckets for PJ Tucker, and he goes over 5.5 points, but he is a betting favorite right now to go under 5.5. Again, he's sitting at a -140, and the projections seem to indicate that he's going to go for around 4.5 to 5 points as well. So I'm laying it all out there. You guys have to make the final decision with your entries. So with that one out of the way, the next player we're going to talk about is Khris Middleton, and the prop that stood out to me was Khris Middleton and his 2.5 3-point makes. Now, I've got him projected for 2.6 3-point makes, which puts him slightly over 2.5, leaning closer to 3 3-point makes than 2 3-point makes. So we need him to hit at least 3 3-point makes in this situation. And, you know, the public is taking the over on this 2.5 3-point prop at -134. So pretty decent odds at for Khris Middleton and taking the over here. So let's take a look at it. Khris Middleton, for the last 5 games, we're going to start with the last 5 games, 2 3-point makes, and he's got 4, 5, 1, and 3. So overall, in his last 5 games, he's covered this prop in 3 out of his last 5. That's a pretty decent conversion rate there. He's attempting pretty good amount too, 6, 10, 12, 6, and 7. So you could see those 3-point attempts. He's attempting at least 6 per game, sometimes going up as high as 10 and 12 3-point attempts in some of these games. So you like that kind of volume. That's something that you want to see, especially if you're looking to take the over on a prop such as this one. So we're going to move forward here. Let's take a look at the regular season and see how many 3-pointers per game he was taking and how many he was making. You can see he attempted 5.4 3-point attempts per game, making 2.2. Those numbers have obviously risen throughout the course of the playoffs, and we'll take a look at that now. In 20 playoff appearances, he is now taking 7.8 3-pointers, so much higher than where he was at for the regular season, and he's making 2.7. So the attempts have went up and the makes have went up, which is a great sign if we are looking to take the over. In this case, I think I am looking to lean toward the over here. So 2.7, very, very close to 3. Obviously, it's higher than 2.5. And finally, in this series so far against the Phoenix Suns, you can see he's appeared in 3 games, playing over 42 minutes per game, getting a ton of run here. His scoring is down, though. 19.3 points per game represents a decline versus where he was at in the regular season. Scored about 20 points per game throughout the regular season. You can see in this series so far, he's attempting over 8 3-pointers per game, and he's making 3. So that's a great sign, because we take the over here. We're looking for at least 3 3-point makes out of Khris Middleton. Now, if things go absolutely right, we've seen this guy make 4, 5, 6 threes in a game. So this could be a situation where 3 or more is definitely in play for Khris Middleton. All right, so with that one out of the way, the last prop of the video is going to be Jay Crowder, another 3-point prop here, and he's also at 2.5 3-point makes. So let's dig into Jay Crowder real quick and see where we land on this 3-point prop. Let's start things off by looking at his last 5 games. Now we go back to June 28th. This was against the Los Angeles Clippers. He went 0 for 4. He comes back with a big 5 for 9 performance. Then he goes 0 for 5. So you can kind of see this down, up sort of trend. And then he bounces back against Milwaukee with a 3 for 5 performance. That's good for an over. And then he goes 6 for 7, shooting absolutely lights out in his last game, only missing one of his 3-point makes. So overall, guys, in his last 5 games, he has covered this prop in 3 games out of 5, which is a pretty good success rate. Do I think he shoots 6 for 7 again tonight? I don't think so, but I believe, if memory serves me correct, when you look at his home splits versus his away splits, he's actually a little bit of a better shooter on the road than he is at home, funny enough. So let's move over to look at his regular season performances. Now, in the regular season, he attempted about 6 3-point attempts per game, 2.5 makes, putting him right in line with where he's at today on PrizePicks at 2.5. So pretty decent success rate in terms of making these 3-point attempts, about 39% 3-point field goal percentage for the regular season. And with that one out of the way, we're going to look at his playoff averages so far. Now, throughout the playoffs, he's attempting about 6.3 3-pointers per game, making 2.5. Again, that's where he was for the regular season. Things have pretty much maintained throughout the playoffs so far at 2.5 3-point makes. So not really seeing an uptick in terms of 3-point makes in terms of the playoffs versus the regular season. And then last but not least, we're going to wrap things up here by looking at how he's done so far against this Milwaukee Bucks team in this 3-game sample size so far. Now, he's played 34.3 minutes per game. He's averaging about 10 points per game. Now, so far in this series, 5.7 3-pointers attempted per game. He's making 3 of them. So that is a good sign. Just like Chris Middleton, who is making 3 3-pointers per game. This is another one here with Jay Crowder, where he is making 3. Now, this is a little bit skewed because of how well he shot in his last game, going 6 for 7. So this number might be a little bit inflated. So just be careful with this Jay Crowder prop. But again, I've got him projected to go for 2.9, almost 3 3-point makes tonight. And he's a -143 to go over 2.5, according to several different sports books out there. So there you have it, guys. That's the 5 picks that are getting the most action across various websites out there, various sports books. What do you guys think? Is there any props in today's video that you're absolutely riding with? Are there any props that maybe you're fading? Or maybe there's a prop that I didn't get a chance to talk about that you're really liking. Leave it down in the comment section below. I'm sure somebody watching this video out there could use the help. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Good luck tonight. Peace out.